Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about why you should not buy the DJI Mini Pro 3 drone. I purchased one, I had nothing but trouble with it. I want to share my experience with you. I want to share with you what the problems were, and I want to share with you what my sort of solution was at the end of it all. Now, I purchased the Mini Pro 3 because I do a lot of cycling, backpacking, outdoor stuff where a lighter, smaller drone would be handy. I also own the Mavic Air 2S drone, which I'm very happy with. I've done a lot of work with that. It's a little bit bulkier than the Mini Pro 3, obviously. The tracking option is extremely important to me, and that is why at the beginning I did not buy the Mini 2, because it did not have the tracking. So once the Mini Pro 3 came out with the tracking option, I decided I'd go ahead and purchase it, and also decided that I would keep the Mavic Air 2S because it's a little bit larger drone, a little more stable, a little better image quality. So I thought it'd be nice to have both of them, and then I would have a backup in case I had a problem with one. Now, what are the problems? Now, the first time I tried to use the drone, I was interested in having the drone follow me, doing the tracking. I quickly discovered that it would track me for a very short period, and then it would just lose the tracking, and then it would fly to home. It had basically lost contact with the controller. And I was using the new controller, the RN, with a built-in screen, which is really nice, but it wasn't working well. Subsequently, I tried another video where I was not using the tracking, and I was shooting the Tehachapi train, the circular loop. And I will show you some footage of that while I'm talking, so you don't have to look at my face the whole time. I flew it out. It was not even 50 meters from me. It was line of sight. I could see the drone, and it lost contact with the controller and decided to return to home. It started returning to home. I canceled return to home, saw that I had reception again, and I flew it back out, and this time it worked. So it's kind of hit or miss. I should note, when I received the drone, I did upload the new firmware after having problems for a couple of weeks, and the final time I tried it, which is this past weekend, I had uploaded a second firmware update. And of course, online people were talking about, well, this is probably a firmware issue. Well, they haven't been able to fix it yet. I've also heard that some people are not having problems with the drone, but the problems that I'm having was some sort of range issue, or in my case, even worse. So once I did the second firmware upload, which was later January 2023, I flew up the drone just behind my house and had it within 10 meters of me and just right above me. I put it on tracking, and I was walking back and forth to see if it would track me. And as soon as I did that, lost contact and wanted to fly home, even though it was only 30 feet away, which is ridiculous. At first, I thought the issue was possibly with just the little green square, the tracking option, and it was just losing the tracking option, then getting mixed up and wanting to fly home. But in reality, I think what was happening is that the drone was losing contact with the controller completely. Didn't know where the controller was, and decided to cancel and just head home. Now, keep in mind, it had been 6 weeks now since I purchased the drone, but I'd only flown it a few times. When I first got it, it took me a couple weeks before I tried it, and then I had this problem, and I was waiting for firmware updates and thought it would be solved, but it wasn't. I contacted DJI on their chat, had a long conversation with them, and basically what they told me after a lot of back and forth, I tried to explain, look, this is a brand new drone. I've had problems from the beginning. This isn't something that happened. And they said, well, you can send it in for repair, and we're going to charge you. And I was, of course, really upset with that. That was just ridiculous. It's a brand new drone. DJI has a 15-day return policy, and after that, they consider it a repair, and they're going to charge you. They did say in the, I want to be fully transparent. They did say if it was determined to be their fault that they would not charge me, which presumably that would happen. I was pretty frustrated. I did not want to send the drone in for repair, have them have it for a long time, and possibly charge me for it. One of the reasons why they didn't want to accept a return is they said that I didn't buy that from them, and I did not. I bought it from BH Photo in New York. Since it's a manufacturer problem, I assumed that I would not have any traction with BH Photo. But to my surprise, I called them up, talked to one of their representatives on the phone, explained the problem to her, and she wanted more information about my conversation with DJI, and I gave her some information about the conversation. I told her who I talked to, the timestamp on the chat that I had, and I still had it on my screen, so I could have done a screen grab of the chat. She didn't need that. She just wanted the information on the chat. And she sent me an RMA, a return merchandise authorization. Where it is right now is I'm going to send the drone back to BH Photo, and she asked me if I wanted a refund or if I wanted a replacement. And I'm going to be honest with you, I told her I want a refund. I think the drone has serious problems. I don't want another one right now until they get it worked out. Now, should you buy one? Under certain circumstances, maybe yes. And the reason I say that is, number one, not everybody is having problems like I had. I think, maybe some of the most severe issues of anyone. Most of the other issues that I'm hearing about is just people having poor range, like it goes out 500 meters or a kilometer and that it loses contact with the controller, and then it flies back, and then you can see that you get your reception back and you gain control over the drone again. That's not as bad as what I had. It wouldn't even follow me from 10 meters away, which is ridiculous. What I have decided to do is to send it back. I'm going to wait. I'm going to see what I see people talking about in the forums on YouTube, etc., and then perhaps purchase another one. And the reason I would purchase another one, without the defects and problems, it's an amazing drone. It's so small, it's so light, it's so easy to carry. The image is great. It has, you can flip it, which you cannot do on my Mavic Air 2S. You can flip it and do vertical video if you want to do, TikTok, YouTube short style videos. So I think it's a fantastic product, but it has these issues. I just wanted to offer my experience with it, and hopefully that will help you out. You can make a decision whether you want to buy it or not. So what I would do, if I were you and you wanted to buy it, I would buy it from a reputable dealer. BH Photo is great with me. Of course, when you have a problem, you call back. It does depend on who you get and who the representative is. It's up to them whether they want to help you or not. But the one tip that I would give you is buy the drone, know what the return period is. As soon as you get it, upload the firmware, then test it thoroughly and make sure that it's got the range and the tracking and all the stuff that it should have. And if it does not, then send it back, get another one, or wait, or get a return, or whatever. So that's it for this video. I don't want to run on too long, but I figured it would be valuable for me to share my experience with you, and hopefully this will help you out. And if the video did help you out, please consider give me a like and a subscribe. I'm not a product review person. I'm more of an outdoor explorer type person. So if you're interested in that, you might want to check out my channel. Anyway, until next time, thanks for watching.